Thank you, Steve and Michelle. Thank you, Krista and Darche and Tess. Thank you all so much. I'm Daniel Lurie, CEO and founder of Tipping Point. I have an amazing job. I see people making sacrifices on behalf of others on a regular basis. I work with extraordinarily talented, driven, compassionate people. I get to see the best selves of so many members of our community. It's an honor to do this work and to help ensure that your philanthropic dollars get a huge return. And not just a financial return, but the kind of return that changes people's lives. With a 20% unemployment rate in some parts of our region, with an adult in Walnut Creek expected to live 16 years longer than an adult in Oakland, with 6,000 reported cases of child abuse each year, it's easy to feel cynical and question whether change is possible. Many of us long for better choices in our schools and in our politicians, and fear that our children are going to grow up in a world more dangerous and tenuous than the one we grew up in. But as you've seen this morning, there is a lot to be hopeful about, and that we can see these numbers as opportunities to create great change. The leadership of our 27 organizations is unmatched, except perhaps by our Tipping Point staff who lines the ring here, it's more than you could ever hope for to work with all of you. I'm so inspired by all of you. Thank you. Our staff is charged with helping our groups figure out what they need to be most successful. But we could not build the capacity of our organizations without the game-changing strategic support of our partners in the for-profit community. I want to thank our friends at McKinsey and Gibson Dunn, Hewlett-Packard and Cisco for their incredible work. These four, along with a number of Bay Area top firms, have been unbelievably generous to Tipping Point and our groups. And none of this would be possible without all of you, our donors. It's wonderful to look into this audience and see some of the greatest philanthropists in the Bay Area, and to see people giving their time and their money at younger ages than ever before. I want to mention one donor, Carrie Landreth Reed, whose story we and I have found particularly inspiring. Carrie has faced an incredible battle against cancer this year, and she's winning. This past May, when Tipping Point raised $4 million to help launch a first-of-its-kind integrated center to keep our children safe and healthy here in San Francisco, Carrie told her boss, Sarah Rechtenwald, that she wanted to do more to help. Not only, Carrie, have you brought dozens and dozens of people into the fold over the first 5 years, but your colleagues at Goldman Sachs raised an additional $300,000 in your honor. Watching you has made our work here at Tipping Point feel more and more achievable. So thank you for that. Thank you. We have to dig deep and sacrifice because we have an obligation and a responsibility to improve the livelihoods of our neighbors. There are more than 1 million people in the Bay Area who are too poor to meet their basic needs. Yes, it's an uphill battle, but I'm not afraid of the work that lies ahead because I see a thirst among young and old to improve our community. I see it in our amazing staff and our incredible board. I see it in our groups and our partners, and I see it in all of you, the 300 people sitting here in this room this morning. All the stories we heard this morning have a common theme. Each of us has a reason why we are invested. As Alec asked you, and I will ask you again, why are you invested? I invite you to wear this pin today and throughout the holidays. When people ask you what it stands for, I hope you'll tell them why you've chosen to be a tipping point in the fight against poverty. Thank you for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you stand ready, as I do, to go out, dream big, and have a wonderful day. Happy holidays.